Hi guys, happy Friday. Hey, welcome in. Today we are going through a masterclass and this ebook is getting uploaded for you as we speak. It is super bright in my office today, so ignore the glare. Turn down my music a scotch. As you guys are popping in, say hi. Today's masterclass is going to be full of some really incredible information on how to maximize Facebook. And if you're like me, you're like, Key, Facebook is a little lackluster with the pulse. Maybe you're not getting a lot of engagement within your community, or maybe you're not knowing how to actually optimize utilizing your Facebook community to find new customers, to transfer customers to sharers or builders. So let me show you my ways. Let me show you how to do this, okay? Hi from Budapest. Hey Bethany, hey April. Hi guys, welcome in. Hey Carla. Okay, so cheers. Good morning. You guys want to have a little coffee and combo with me? So like I was saying, today is all about being intentional with your Facebook community. Now this can translate to Instagram a little bit. The beauty of Facebook is it's so much more community based, hence why we do these over in Facebook versus Instagram, because there's so much more of a conversation than just commenting, right? So the beauty of Facebook is that you can really cultivate that community and you can create engagement and you can add so much value. But there's a few secrets behind creating that forward momentum within a community. Like for example, this community, we started about 3 years ago. I think we're almost to 13,000 people. And obviously not everyone's subscribed to OneDrop, to utilizing what we provide, but we have great conversations in here. We have a really strong community over here. We are able to keep our finger on the pulse of what you guys need as far as graphics or designs or PowerPoints or anything that you're needing for your Doterra business. We're able to open up that conversation in this community and pull that over to our platform and create that with our contributors, our brilliant contributors, and turn around and put it onto the platform for our subscribers, right? So Facebook is a powerful tool, even though you may feel like, but I'm getting hit by the algorithm and I'm not getting high engagement. We're gonna go through a lot of that stuff, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys just some really easy tactics and tips to start to implement within your own brand, your own community, to heighten your engagement and to really start those conversations, okay? So this is probably, I don't know, like a 20-page ebook. And again, you'll be seeing me look down, but this ebook that I create for all the masterclasses is uploaded under my name on OneDrop. So if you are a subscriber, you can download these workbooks for free. If you're not a subscriber, you should be, because we actually add a ton of value into our library. And if you're completely unfamiliar with what OneDrop is, it's just like the total digital media library for running your Doterra business. Graphics, stories, ebooks, emails, text campaigns, masterclasses, content calendars, like everything you need made by wellness advocates for wellness advocates. And really it was created out of a lack. There wasn't anything to turn to have high quality graphics, images, and all that stuff. So we created it. Okay, let's dive in. So you are in the right place. If you are wanting to understand the basics of running a successful Facebook group to generate leads and to educate your members. If you want to learn how to set up systems to keep you organized, I will tell you guys, the systems that I have behind my Facebook groups is a massive time saver, but it doesn't sacrifice engagement, okay? So I'm going to kind of show you guys my behind the scenes systems to make sure people are still getting nurtured without me being on the platform, okay? And if you want to create engaging educational content that your group actually wants to learn about, because that's probably the one downfall. If you don't have people engaging with you, are you really speaking to their needs and their pain points, right? So first thing is setting up your Facebook group to maximize for leads, okay? So step one, and again, I have all of this outlined for you. So if you are driving or you are busy or I'm just in your ears and hanging out with you, or you just don't have a notebook, go and get the ebook. It'll be up in like the next hour or so, but I'll walk you guys through it, okay? So step one is make sure your group name is searchable. Like I will tell you, my brand name, Essentially Obsessed, there's like 900 L's and 1300 S's. So when I'm like writing it out, that was one thing that I didn't really think through. I like my brand, but I didn't really think through how long it was. So with your group name, make sure it's something that's easily searchable, whether it's your brand name or whether it's something that is short and to the point. Also make sure that it's obviously available, but make sure that your name can pop up quickly, especially for new leads, okay? And you want to be sharing about your group on multiple platforms. So something that I would do if I were starting all over today is I would create a Facebook group that is specific to my community, but I would invite in potential leads. So somebody who is not currently enrolled. This does take a little bit of some vetting with people to make sure they're not currently enrolled. But if you're not currently enrolled and I tell you like, hey, if you want to be a fly on the wall in my Facebook community, I do tons of free education over there. I post every day and it really will showcase how you can incorporate these oils into your everyday routine. Picking a theme, we'll talk about this in the last part of this masterclass, but picking a theme on what you're teaching about. Say this week you're teaching all about essential oils and babies, and you have a brand new mama and you're like, hey, I'm actually teaching a whole series this week in my Facebook community. If you're interested and you're not enrolled, I would love for you to come over and be a fly on the wall. Now, the key thing with this is when you invite people into your Facebook community to quote unquote be a fly on the wall is you need to track. You don't want to just throw them in there and think like, oh, well, they'll reach back out to me, right? You want to make sure that you get their information. Like, I'm going to get you added in, and then is it okay for me to follow up with you towards the end of the week to see if you have any other questions and just to see, just to answer anything for you and to see how we can best fit your needs for your family, right? So, and then if they, at the end of the week, they either ghost you or they don't reply or they're like, yeah, it's not really for me, you pull them out of the group. So they don't get full-time free access to it. You pull them out of the group and you just let them know, okay, like if there's ever a point in the future that you want more education, let me know, okay? So that is how I would utilize my Facebook community, because then you also have like a 1-2 punch of social proof. So social proof is kind of an industry term. If you're kind of new to online marketing and you don't really understand, social proof is like me telling you like, oh my gosh, Deep Blue Rub is the most incredible rub for any type of temporary pains. I use it on my back. If I've been sitting all day, I utilize it on my muscles if I'm sore, and you put in your Facebook group and you say, tell me how you use Deep Blue. And then you have your community jump in and they're like, oh my gosh, my husband uses it for this and it's awesome for this. And I can't believe how quickly it works. So the comments below your comment, below your post, that's your social proof. So what that does psychologically for somebody who's purchasing is it validates their choice to purchase. Okay, like we've all had that, right? We've all had that happen to us where, maybe you go and you look at something and then somebody else comments in and it's like, oh my gosh, that, maybe you're trying on something at a clothing shop and, you come out and you look at yourself in the mirror and somebody, not a salesperson, but like a total third party is like, oh my gosh, that's totally your color. That looks really beautiful on you, right? So then that's the social proof right there of like, oh, like somebody else's opinion is very important to us as consumers, okay? So that was kind of a side tangent. This class might be long. I will try to keep it short, but so step one is make sure that your name, your brand name in your group is searchable. Okay. Step two is create your admission questions to collect data of your ideal client avatar. Okay. ICA means ideal client avatar. That is your ideal person that you are wanting to bring into your community. Okay. So you want to ask these admission questions, i.e. tell me your name, give me your email address. If you have a texting service, you can even add an optional, like add your phone number if you'd like to be text. and tell me why you're interested in learning more about essential oils, or tell me who you enrolled with if you're currently enrolled. So you're vetting them and you're collecting data. The key thing with this is as soon as you approve it, that data goes away. So you need to make sure you have a system behind when you approve it to pull that data and put it into, I just use Google all the things. So I use Google Sheets. I pull the data from there and I put it into Google Sheets. So then I know if there is a warm lead sitting in my Facebook group. Does that make sense? So, step 3, get your onboarding system set up. Do you have steps that you want your new leads and customers to go through? Get your units pin posts set up so that they know what the next step is. Make sure you have your group set up as social learning. So social learning in Facebook allows you to create units, which is basically like modules, okay? So as somebody is welcomed in, you have to look at your community from like very green eyes, okay? As if you were just walking into your community, would you know the first step? Would you know where to go? Would you know that, like, what is your flow? Have you checked in on your flow? Does your customer have directions of where to go? People want to be led. And if you don't have that clarity and that system set up, then you're doing a lot more work on yourself, to be honest. So I'll go through my systems that I've put in this ebook for you guys, but you want to have your units set up where it's like, hey, welcome into our community. Here's where you'll find a few things. I want you to start on unit 1, and you can really just break down some of the basics, okay? So we'll dive deeper into that. So Facebook attraction marketing method, okay? If you are looking for more leads, which I feel like all of us are, right? These are our top 10 focus tips on gaining clarity to grow your community with attraction marketing. Now, I will tell you, I am not one to tell you to slide into people's DMs. I feel that is very spammy, and it is, it actually kind of puts a little bit of a weird energy around your business, kind of a desperate energy, right? So attraction marketing is about being very clear on who you are, what you offer, knowing the value you offer, and knowing that you can energetically attract the most incredible people into your community who are just like you, right? And maybe not exactly like you, but have similar goals and values and desires out of life, right? So we're going to start with the basics, the brand of you. If you are not getting very clear about who you are, about what is important to you, about why is this important to you, why are you here, why are you sharing doTERRA, what has happened in your life that you feel this innate pull towards sharing these oils with people? What is that like? And again, we've talked about like kind of your why, but you need to know that when people start following you, and this translates to your community because you are the leader of your community. When people start following you, it's because they fall in love with who you are as an individual. But if you feel like you're all over the place, you don't have clarity around the brand of you. We've talked about this in the 5 pillars in another masterclass on here. If you haven't watched that, or you need a refresher on that, go back into the lives in here and look for my branding masterclass that I did. But you need to be clear on the brand of you. What is important to you, and how do you show up every single day, okay? So people want guidance, they want leadership, and they want to believe that you can help them. This is why we purchase things, because it's either going to draw us towards pleasure or pull us away from pain. And what our essential oils do, and our supplements and our products, is it pulls people away from the confusion of living a non-toxic lifestyle, of utilizing nature to support their body, right? And so that needs to be the underlying message through everything you share, is like, this is why this is important. Because if something's important to you, the way you talk about it with conviction is so different than you just being like, go buy this oil, it's really great. You know, like, you can tell when something lights somebody the F up, right? Like, you can tell when like they're passionate, because it's almost like their light turns on and like it's so attractive, right? So show up daily, stay consistent, and become the brand of you. This consistency. I know so many people are like, I'm so busy. Y'all, to get on social media, to do a post, to do stories or to do a quick live or to even throw together a reel. I'm talking like you can nail this down in like 30 minutes. You can batch these and nail it out in like 2 hours over the weekend, right? So like you can really, it's the intention behind this of showing up consistently. Because if you're not consistent, if you're that person who's like, oh, she's online every day and, you know, I kind of know who she is, but then all of a sudden you ghost for 2 weeks and then you come back. Is that a quality that if you were looking for somebody to partner with in a business, is that something that you would want, right? And again, there's no judgment here. There's just like, you have to run your business like a business. That's like keeping your doors open for 1 week and then closing them for 2 weeks and then opening them up again and being confused why people aren't showing up. So stay consistent with it. Commit to being consistent. Commit to running your business like a business, okay? And your business is your brand. And your brand is you with Doterra as kind of a leg of that, okay? All right. Number 2, niche down. If you don't know who you're talking to, if you were trying to cast the largest net, because you're like, but Keely, everyone can benefit from essential oils. It doesn't matter if you're a dog, if you're a horse, if you're 90 years old, if you're a brand new baby, like anyone can benefit. That's not the point of niching down. The point of niching down is who are you talking to? Like when I come on here and I talk, I'm talking to other motivated, driven, hungry entrepreneurs who are willing to do the things. They just need a little bit of some fine tuning with their guidance, right? So like that's who I'm talking to, especially when I'm doing things for One Drop and I'm running my One Drop business as a business, is I'm showing up for you guys to continue to help you take steps forward. So be very clear about who you're talking to. Who is your niche? Now, again, I've done a masterclass all on your ideal client avatar and who are you talking to, getting very clear about who that niche down ideal person is. When you have this clarity, you just speak different, if I'm honest. You show up different, you have a different conviction. If I got on here and I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to people who are kind of interested in business, they're not really sure, they're really not really motivated, they want somebody to do the work for them, but they would sure be happy about taking the paycheck. Do you think I would show up with this type of conviction? No, I wouldn't show up because those aren't my people, right? Like every single one of you who are on here are hungry. You're driven, you're motivated, you want to create more, you just want a little bit more guidance. And I get that, right? I have that in my own life, so let me be that for you, okay? So if you don't understand who your audience, if you don't have your audience defined, to take some time to sit down and get crystal clear on who you're speaking to. Now, I just put a few questions in here. Again, I have a masterclass on this for you guys for free, 100% free. But who does your message impact? Who do you want to serve? And why what lights you up with this? Like, if you were to tell one story about Doterra, what is that one story that you're like, I gotta tell this? That's what lights you up, okay? So niching down is really, really important, especially with how many people are consuming in the online space. All right. Number 3, understand your audience's challenge. When you know who you're speaking to, again, these all layer on top of each other. I hope you guys are noticing that. But when you know who you're speaking to, take some time to research, brainstorm, or even ask your audiences their challenge, their problems, their pains, their dreams, their desires, what their questions are. Asking your audience is like one of the best ways to like keep your finger on the pulse of are you attracting your ideal client, right? Or do you need to shift your energy a little bit? But also sitting down and brainstorming. Ideally, I mean, honestly, what we normally serve is like the you of like 6 months ago or a year ago, or possibly even 2 years ago. Like, what questions did you have? What guidance did you need at that time to feel more comfortable continuing to take steps forward, okay? So understanding their challenges and creating, number 4 is creating content around this. So your job, your job is to create content that consistently addresses their top challenges, problems, pains, dreams, desires, and questions. This can be done through daily posts, short tips, longer videos, or a fun Q&A. This has to be relevant. If not, it'll fall flat. I have so many people who will come to me and like, but Key, I post every day. I do all the things. If your content isn't relevant, it's not gonna go anywhere. I mean, you'll get like your mom and a few people liking it, but if you feel like, wow, this really isn't landing, you need to dig deeper. You need to figure out like what are the true pain points. And sometimes we shy away from anything that might be a little controversial, right? I will tell you, anytime I post things that are a bit controversial, and I'm not talking like, you don't have to get into politics or, you know, all the global things, but I will tell you that sometimes stating your opinion that you're convicted around will pull out the people who are like you, will pull out the people to actually comment, or even asking questions that are really relevant. You know, maybe you're a mom of a new baby and you're like, hey, tell me your top favorite, most baby products that you had when your baby was little. Okay? Like, I will tell you, people love to share their opinion. Ask for people's opinion. Make sure that what you are posting adds value, and then you're asking them a question. You're giving them a really clear call to action at the end of every post, okay? Okay, number 5, relationship building. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. We've talked about this a lot, right? And so if you are not cultivating and nurturing the relationships that you have, and you expect somebody to just jump in and buy from you, you are not Amazon. I'm sorry, you're not Amazon. People are buying from you as an individual. So if you're not cultivating those relationships and really nurturing them and treating your potential customers like a friend, showing up, answering questions, making sure that they have the right resources, making sure that they feel seen and heard and nurtured, you're missing the whole point of network marketing, right? Like, we network, we create our communities. And so in those conversations, if you have somebody comment, that is where I would say you can jump into a DM and say like, hey, thank you so much for commenting on that. I really appreciate your recommendation, and start the conversation. Where'd you buy that from? How did you use it? You know, tell me more about this. Start the conversation. This doesn't need to be like, hey, buy oils from me. Like, don't be awkward and weird. Just start a conversation. Look at this as like, how many friends can I make today? Like, that's something that I love, like the energy that I love to put into my business is like, who can I bring more into my inner circle? How many friends can I create today? How many people can I nurture for them to feel incredible and worthy and abundant? Like, that is my energy, right? So how can you create that for yourself? Okay, number 6 is show up and engage. Make sure you are showing up for your community. The more you show your face and remind them why they're in your community, the more they will start to engage with you. I will tell you, our content calendars are amazing time savers. But if you're not showing your pretty little face, either in your own stories, in your community, showing up for your team, then it's going to fall flat, right? Your engagement is going to suck. It doesn't matter how awesome of a content calendar I write for you guys. If you're not showing your face, they want to see you. They want to hear from you. So look at your schedule and plan your time to be jumping in to your community where you can show your face and actually engage with them. Like these Friday Q&As. How many of you guys have these Friday Q&As on your calendar where you know I'm going to be showing up for you, right? So make sure that you're showing up for your community. Number 7 is multiple opportunities to connect. So if you're not offering people multiple opportunities to learn from you, i.e. like a Facebook masterclass like this, Zoom workshops, a private consult, email campaigns, private DMs, then you are missing the like networking and connecting part of what we do. This allows your audience to pick the path and how they connect in with you. Some people are going to watch a masterclass from you and they will be like, oh my gosh, I want to be a part of what this girl's doing. I want to be a part of her community. I know I need these oils. I don't really need more touches on me than that. I'm just going to go in and buy them, right? I have people like that all the time on my platform. They will watch me over and over and over, and then they'll just go into my link and they'll buy their starter kit by themselves. But it's not that they haven't been nurtured. It's they've been watching me for weeks or months or sometimes years, right? So how are you giving people an opportunity to connect in with you? Masterclasses are phenomenal. Creating fun ways for them to actually get a little bit more intimate with you. Maybe you're offering 15-minute consults. Hey, I'm doing 5 15-minute consults for free today with a full wellness plan. If that's something that interests you, DM me and you just time block that into your schedule, okay? Number 8, collaborate. So collaboration is a great way to expand your audience and to get exposure to someone else's audience. Now, collaboration is not just gonna happen with you saying like, hey, can I put a post on your social media, or can I be on your podcast, or can I jump in and do a guest spotlight on your stories? That's not going to happen. What does work is saying like, hey, I have a masterclass all about gut health, and I know you talk all about nutrition. Would that be something that you think your audience would find a benefit from? And maybe we can team up and collaborate on a project together, okay? So with collaboration, you always have to think about it from the business owner's perspective, whether it's somebody who's an influencer on social media or it's somebody who's local, is how will they benefit from you coming into their life? What is the added value that you're bringing into their life, okay? So this can be via podcast, blogs, Facebook group owners, or Instagram influencers with your targeted audience, all right? You can exchange services. I mean, you can even offer like, hey, I have, these extra or these oils that I'm offering to anyone who's allowing me to be a guest on their platform, okay? You can also do a dual stream. So on Instagram, and I believe on Facebook too, you can do dual streaming where you both are streaming and kind of doing a fun Q&A. How can you add value into your community's life that way, right? So you can also hang out in larger Facebook groups with your ideal client, answer questions, and engage with the members over there. If you feel like you can help them, ask them if they'd like to join your Facebook group. Do not send them a link. Always ask permission first. We do have quite a few local Facebook groups that a lot of my local leaders will jump into, and when given permission, they will share their oils, or they will share their top tips. And so there are a ton of Facebook groups that do allow that, and that do allow you to kind of cross promote. So a lot of that is just taking the time to search it out, okay? Number 9 is email connection. Now, I know that this doesn't have to do with Facebook, but if you are not pulling people's contact information off of these beautiful platforms and putting them into a list that you actually own, you are missing a huge opportunity to connect in with people. And especially if anything were to go awry with your group or your platform or your brand, you have a way to still connect in with people. So make sure that you're collecting their email. Make sure that you have your email set up to welcome new people in, to nurture new potential customers, to get them education and pertinent information into their inbox, and you're following up with them, okay? And then number 10 is a challenge. So many times this works for so many builders within my community is a fun challenge. Hey, I'm going to run a 3-day challenge. I'm going to run a 5-day challenge. This is what the challenge is going to be about. If you are interested in being a part of this challenge, come into my Facebook community, right? So that is another really fun way. Okay. So those are my top 10 tips. There's a question. How are you doing? I'm assuming, what are you doing to get their emails? You offer freemium. You offer something for them. Hey, I have this custom ebook. And again, this is where you utilize OneDrop. You jump in, you grab an ebook, you put your watermark or your brand on the ebook, and you can utilize that as a freemium for your customers or for your potential leads. Hey, I have a ebook on all about how to utilize essential oils for kids and babies. If that's something that interests you, drop your email and you can put it as an autoresponder. I use Flowdesk, yeah, for my emails, and I love it. It's really easy. So if they don't give you an email, then you don't allow them in the group. It just depends on what your requirements are. I would always DM somebody if they are wanting to get into my community and they're not a current member, but they don't want to give me their email, then yeah, I would message them. You can just click on their profile. You can message them and say like, hey, I saw you wanted access to my community. I do collect email addresses to make sure that I have a good, clear way to follow up with you. Can you provide me your email address, and then I'll give you access. So Yeah, you want to put your watermark on the ebook to protect it. Yeah. How do you watermark the ebooks? If you go into our trainings in here, there's a video training on how to do it. Yeah, so those are just some really easy tips. And again, these tips, you guys, are to help to provide a streamlined way of keeping your pipeline continuously flowing in a way that feels authentic to you, in a way that doesn't feel spammy, in a way that feels like you're showing up, you're adding value, you're in your zone of genius, and you're attracting the right people into your community and into your Doterra business and into your email list. This is what I do. I don't do the spammy stuff. You can absolutely ask people. Something I have done before is like, I'm going to do a massive giveaway in my Facebook group or on my Facebook brand page. And anyone who shares this post will get an entry into this giveaway. So you can get creative with this, but a lot of it starts with your intention and what you're focused on within your business. If you jump into this and you are constantly telling yourself, nobody engages in my Facebook, I don't attract incredible people, I'm not like Keely, I don't run things like that, I don't have all the systems. Number one, sit down and get clear about your systems. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more, actually right now. But get clear about your systems. The clearer you are about your business, the more confidence you have in what you're offering people. And so if you're sitting in that confusion energy, it's just because you're not clear. And that actually can be smashed out in like an hour, 2 hour little session, sitting down and being like, okay, what do I offer people? How do I do this? And utilize OneDrop. You guys, we have a massive library for you to jump in and grab images and ebooks and systems to be able to onboard people in a way where you're like, yeah, I provide all of this. Like, you're welcome. You know what I mean? So let's talk about systems, okay? So having a system in place can cut down on the number of extra steps you're taking with each person and empower them to do their own research while giving them the information they need to be successful with essential oils. This needs to be crystal clear, okay? 2 systems you need to have in place, and 2 systems I've had in place for a really long time, is number 1, a customer onboarding system, and number 2, a lead onboarding system, okay? So if a Facebook group is where you plan to do the majority of your communicating with your customers, have a system in place that will make it easy for them to get their questions answered and have you be the go-to authority on essential oils, okay? So you're putting yourself into that authority position. Make sure you add things to your units/guides to build out your onboarding system, and write it down on paper first and then build it out, okay? So in this, I give you guys literally like a little flow chart of like, this is my customer onboarding system, okay? So make sure your group is set up for social learning in Facebook, because then you'll get access to units. It doesn't do anything else, but it does allow you to put things into units. You can utilize units and guides. So your units or guides should nurture and guide your new customers through the basics of essential oils, LRP, and business, then move forward towards continuing education. Your pinned post in your community should kick this off. Okay, so like your pinned post is always the first post that people see as they're jumping into your community. And so that gives them the directions on like, okay, welcome in. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm so excited for you to start using essential oils. You have just joined one of the most incredible essential oil communities, and we want to make sure you feel confident and safe using your essential oils. So we want you to start with unit 1. My unit 1 is normally titled Start Here. It's really like, I try to make it real simple, okay? So your start here is any like FAQs, frequently asked questions. What are things that tend to come up a ton? Unit 1 is how to get the most out of the group. So what are they supposed to do in this group? Like, most people kind of assume like you know how to play and how to communicate in a Facebook groups, but sometimes you have to spell it out for people, okay? So Unit 1 is how to get the most out of the groups. Unit 2, Essential Oils 101. So this is literally what I've done is I've taken a basic class and just broken it down into little bite-sized pieces, mainly because people's retention, like with these master classes, y'all are here for me. You're here for this. You want to learn, you're engaged, you're understanding kind of the method to my madness. And more than likely, I've done the things that you want to do, i.e. I've like achieved a rank that you want to achieve, or I run my business in a way that you find inspirational, and so you're listening, right? Sometimes with an Essential Oil 101 class, it can feel a little bit monotone. So when you are doing your 101 class, make it fun. Keep it engaging, keep it light, make them laugh. I would tell you, like, the more you can keep your audience engaged and make them laugh through these little mini videos or posts. I prefer videos because I feel like people are more likely to click on a little 2 to 3 minute video than they are to read through a 4-paragraph post, right? Or you can do both, okay? So you can do your little video and you can just break it down. What are essential oils? Why are they, why Doterra? 3 ways to use oils, top 10 oils, how to use your diffuser, like really break it down, remind yourself what it's like to be that beginner and break it down from the beginning and pull them through that one-on-one class. Again, even if somebody has sat through a class with you, this is a really good refresher, okay? You can even put in there towards the end of that, like a little breakdown about each of the kits. Like, okay, so if you enrolled with, the Natural Solutions Kit, these are the things you get, and this is how you can start to incorporate them. OneDrop has awesome little worksheets and handouts and posts about each kit. So this is where I would 1,000,000% utilize OneDrop, and this is actually going to save you like a ton of time if you're going to break down all the kits, okay? So you break down the kits, because guess what? If I enrolled with the Natural Solutions Kit and I don't have the time to connect in with you for a membership overview, at least now I have maybe a short little video and a graphic that I can follow of like, oh, these are how I'm going to utilize these. Okay, I got it, right? So Unit 2 is an Essential Oil 101 class. Unit 3 is your membership overview, talking about the LRP. Don't fire hose your customers with the LRP. You guys all know that we can be like, so the LRP is based off of PV, but every oil doesn't have the same. Sometimes they're a different dollar amount than PV, so you want to watch the PV amount. And if you process your order for $50 and you're going to earn a percentage back of your order, it starts at 10%, then 15, 20, 20, 25, 30. You max out at 30% if you do 125 by the 15. Like, you guys know the fire hose that can come at you with the LRP. So when you're talking about LRP, just make sure that you're keeping it super basic. Honestly, what I tell new customers is you always get your shipping back 100% in product points. If you order $50 or more, you're gonna move up the scale in our percentage back. If you order 125 PV by the 15th, you're gonna get our free oil of the month, which is for those of us who just love to get freebies, free gifts every single month. And then I personally do an Lrp raffle. So if you are processing your order through an Lrp, make sure you're participating in my Lrp raffle every month. I give away a couple $100 worth of Doterra oils and products just within our own community. So keep it simple, keep it light, and really it's a rewards program. If you're ordering oils every single month, you may as well get rewarded, right? So you're talking about LRP, and then anything specific to your community. Like, I do continuing education every single month for my team. I do 2 to 3 classes. Sometimes they're live, sometimes they're recorded, but I give them access to those classes in that unit, okay? So if you want to continue to learn, if you want access to a vaulted library of education from me, make sure you log into this platform, and this is how you can get that for free, right? And then number 4 is business. So I always trickle out the business. Hey, so many people fall in love with these oils. They really do. And so many of us were like, I would never do that as a business. How many of you guys here were that person? They were like, no, I would never do that as a business. I am not going to do network marketing. Anyways, but if that's you, then allowing people to relate to you on that level too, I think is actually important. And then showing people like, listen, if making a side income, if being able to pay for your essential oil order, if being able to order organic groceries or put your kid in soccer or dance, or, pay for a car payment or pay for your mortgage payment, or, have a travel fund, or, replace your income. If any of that stuff is intriguing to you and you love these oils, let's talk a little bit about this. Let's talk about what that looks like. Let me give you a behind the scenes of what does it look like to run a doTERRA business. And I will tell you, after 7.5 years of doing this, there's zero sugarcoating for me. This is not a like, just go out and share and it's, you know, it's super easy. No, like this is a business. You want to make business money. I can show you how to make business money. I can show you how to rock this business and how to completely change your lifestyle. If you just want to get your oils paid for, I can show you how to do that too. So, you know, tuck in under my arm and stay close. And if that is something that you're curious about, then I have another module that kind of dives into a little bit more of the business stuff, and then they get linked into my fundamentals. But again, I'm very clear on my steps. That the confidence comes from clarity. Okay, it's not because I'm doing it any specific way. It's because I'm doing it in a way that feels like something I would respond to. And it's because I'm giving them a very clear next step of what to do, instead of just leaving them like, reach out to me. No, like click here if that's what you're interested in. You would be shocked at how many people will dive deep into binge-worthy content. If you create your content in a form where they're like frothing for the next thing, then you've done your job, right? And we want to create it in a way that is automated, that you're not having to sit on this platform all day long, because ain't nobody have time for that, guys. Really, okay? Okay, so that is your customer. So that's like your team nurturing. So a lead onboarding system, just like with the customer onboarding system, the lead onboarding system may include an FAQ about essential oils, doTERRA, how to get you started. So this is where in your pinned post, if you are bringing people into your community who are not enrolled, in your pinned post, you want to be very clear about, hey, if you're not enrolled yet, I want you to jump into this pinned post or this unit. And this is where I would make your unit very clear of like, you know, curious and interested unit or something like that. And then you're walking them through some of the basics of like how impactful these essential oils and this company can be when they bring them into their home. Because it is one thing for me to talk to you. I can tell you all day long about how incredible these oils are, but until we get them into your home, you're not going to see a substantial difference. So you're really nurturing and you're kind of petting on the pain points. So a really easy way to do this is, if you have your nurturing unit, is look at our wellness tracks. So doTERRA's actually outlined a lot of our wellness tracks, right? Like immunity, sleep, respiratory, stress and mood. What's the other one? There's one more. Anyways, go through the wellness tracks and do a little teeny tiny mini nurturing on those. You know, like, hey, if your immune system sucks and you're constantly feeling run down, let me show you what products you can utilize from doTERRA. And then at the end of your little mini video, I would do your enrollment kits. I would do like, you know, if you are struggling with this, this is the kit that I would start with. And what's really cool that you could do is go in and you can grab a short link. You can customize a short link kit if there's not a specific kit that maybe you talked about, you know, skin health, and there's obviously not like a skin health beauty starter kit. You can customize one with your short links. Yes, relief and sleep. Thanks, guys. So, but you guys, do you see how my brain works with these? Do you see how, like, if I'm a brand new customer walking into this community, I read this pinned post, I see that if you're already enrolled, I see the pathway for that, but I'm not yet enrolled. So I see that pathway where I'm supposed to go down, and I know where to go. I'm very clear on the next step, right? And so you're creating that system for them where it makes it really, really clear as to what the next step is. You're touching on major pain points. You're giving them the option to enroll themselves, but you're also giving them an option. I would put a Calendly link, which I'll talk about in here in my systems, but Calendly is my calendar link, and I leave it open to my community, my team who I enroll, and I also have in there 15-minute consultations. So if you're not yet enrolled, then you can jump in and you can get a consultation, a free consultation, where if you need more information or you want to talk to me about what's going on in your life, then we can actually connect one-on-one, right? So again, I've collected your email. I know that you're a warm lead in my community. And you can even, when you add them in, you can create a text that you just copy and paste and you send them a DM and say like, hey Jane, I just added you into my community. Feel free to binge on the content that I'm sharing this week. Specifically for you and your needs, because you're asking them in those questions. Why are you interested in essential oils? If they put in there, I do not sleep during the night, like I just wake up and my mind is racing, I would say specifically for you, I would jump into this class, right? So again, we're creating some human to human connection behind that, not just throwing them into a group and hoping that they figure it out. And it's not that people aren't resourceful enough to figure it out, it's that people need direction and they need accountability, and that people get busy. Like how many of us have jumped into something like, oh yeah, I want to do this, but I have like 9 million other things that I need to go through. And so if I have somebody who's like, hey, you know, this is where you need to go in and watch it, come back to me, let me know if you have any questions, and I would love to connect in with you. I have a 15-minute slot with your name on it, right? So we're really nurturing that networking, okay? But we're also utilizing as much automation as possible. Do you guys see the method to my madness behind this? So that is your lead onboarding system. Now, golden rules of engagement. It may feel like Facebook engagement is in a downward spiral, right? But there's actually good news. Facebook group engagement is actually statistically up. As Facebook wants to keep more of its communities engaged, you'll notice that the groups that you subscribe to show up more in your feed than your friends' statuses, and this means that your groups are showing up more in your members' feed as well, okay? So there are a few things to keep in mind to keep your engagement popping. And again, these are all outlined for you, okay? So number 1, tap into perfect timed posts. If you have not looked into your analytics behind your Facebook group, there's actually with the algorithm in your Facebook group, you can actually see your analytics and see like when are posts actually getting exposure to the most amount of people, and you can time your posts to post at that time, okay? So by posting when your followers are most active, you're likely to increase your reactions and comments. Also, just common sense, right? Like if most of your team tends to be on Facebook around lunchtime, if most of them tend to be around during the evening time, then you want to utilize that, okay? When was the last time you made your audience laugh? Or what can you share with different things that are going on today? Like what are things that literally, like people are looking for lightness, right? They're looking for happiness. They're looking for a fun conversation. And sometimes, especially Facebook, can start to get really heavy. And so be that lightness in your community to bring in like humor or, you know, something fun into their life, okay? So this ebook will be uploaded into OneDrop. If you're a subscriber to OneDrop, you can get it for free. Just search my name and it'll come up. It'll look like this, but it'll say Facebook. Okay. Okay. Analyze your most popular posts. What are the most popular posts that you've posted that have gotten high engagement? If those were posted a while ago, repost them, refurbish them. You know, utilize the same type of theme. Understand what your audience actually responds to, okay? Prioritize comments and replies. If someone takes the time to comment, you should return the favor. Jump in and say like, thank you so much for responding to that. If people want to interact with you, make sure that you comment or reply back to them within a couple hours, ideally for the algorithm. Tailor your content for Facebook. So Facebook groups should have exclusive content that isn't available elsewhere, sharing heartwarming stories, educating on sensitive topics, sharing some inside jokes, and actually our content calendar that's going to be coming out this next week is going to be all about massive engagement. So if that's something that you're like, I struggle with getting really good engagement, that is what the whole next month's content calendar is focused on, is like your customers' testimonials and them sharing their experiences, because people love to talk about themselves, which we should, right? Like it's fun to share your stories and your experiences. So that's what our content calendar for next month is highly focused on, is getting them to share their testimonials, your social proof that you're going to massively be intaking, okay? So, okay, cool. And then use videos. It is no secret that Facebook loves videos. It loves lives. You know, even refurbishing your reels and throwing them into your Facebook group. Be engaging and showing your face into your group, okay? Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for hanging out with me this long. So this is your plan. So it is one thing to sit here and listen to me and to feel really excited about kind of tweaking some things with your systems and your onboarding and within your community and getting really clear on who you're talking to. But if you don't have a plan, it just kind of fizzles, right? So I want to make sure that you guys understand a plan to maximize your Facebook group and to really build this and to move forward with it, okay? So planning out scheduling. I will tell you every Sunday I sit down and I map out what needs to get done for the week. I sit with my Google Calendar and it is the best thing I have done in my business and for my personal life because then I know exactly what I need to be spending time on, okay? So planning out 10 to 15 posts for the week. If you're using the content calendar, half the work is already done for you because the copy is already done, okay? So if you can create a general theme for the week, that's better, but it's not required. You don't need to over post, but you do need, so don't post back to back, but you do want to allow some time for posts to gain momentum, okay? If you post something that's getting a lot of attention, kind of hold off on posting something else. Allow that to go a little bit viral within your community, okay? So you don't want to be competing with yourself. So when you are thinking about your posts for the week in Facebook, you can actually post multiple times per day. So you can post once in the morning, once in the evening. You can post once per day and you can do a live. You can do I will tell you, like, quick tips are probably the easiest thing to do too, where you're like, hey, I'm doing this already. Like, I'm utilizing these oils already in my daily routine. Just flip on your camera and show people like, hey, this is what I'm using. So content calendars are on What Drop. Yeah, it's a premium item where we've written all the copy for you. It's for people who hate to write copy because it's time consuming. Okay, so what content do I post? Now again, this is outlined for you guys in a kind of 1, 2, 3, okay? So if you are struggling to map out what content to post and how frequently to post, we have given you guys a guide. Number 1 is education or empowering posts 2 to 3 times a week, okay? So share some of your own personal testimonials and encourage other people to share the same. Entertaining. People like to be entertained, okay? So people love to be entertained. Share oil-related memes or funny stories. This is a great way to show your personality and to connect with others. Number 3 is personal and lifestyle posts 2 to 3 times a week. Briefly describe what the next task is Briefly describe what the next task is all about in 1 to 2 lines. Showcase your life. Give people a peek into your life and who you are. You can throw some nonchalant, indirect promotions in here. You know, like, hey, these are the oils, you know, maybe if you're feeling a little bit run down, these are the oils that I'm using to take care of my body. These are also included in the, Home Essentials kit. This is one of my top kits and this is why. This is what we utilize all the time, right? So like, it doesn't need to be a spammy post, but it can be something of like, here's what I'm using and this is how you get it, right? Okay, what else? Product posts, so share about a product or oil and the benefit and how to use it and how to order it. 1 to 2 times a week. A business post at least once a week. So again, you have to remind people that like they do have the opportunity to earn an income with Doterra. They do have the opportunity to completely change their life with Doterra. For some people, this vehicle will be a hard pass. For other people, this vehicle will be 100% yes. Thank you, baby Jesus, for bringing this into my life. This is exactly what I wanted, exactly what I needed, and I'm so passionate and so grateful to get to do this work. Okay, so, and then at least 1 live video. Jump in, connect in with your people. Do a live, pick a theme, ask your people what they want to learn about, do a Q&A. You can do like I do over here, drop a Q&A graphic every, Tuesday or Wednesday, jump in live on Fridays, connect in, engage with your people, okay? All right, bonus. We literally outlined this for you because this is probably one of the most annoying upgrades that Facebook has done. If you are sick and tired of having your post getting flagged as a listing to be reviewed, anytime you post a product in your Facebook community, sometimes it'll post it as like you're trying to put it on Facebook Marketplace, and it is the most annoying thing, okay? So the bad news is it doesn't look like it's going away. The good news is you can edit your posts in the group settings to get rid of it. So we literally walk you through like how to do this in your group settings and how to turn that off. So that's in the ebook as well. And that is all I have for you guys. So you guys, I kept it to an hour. Yes. Okay, so this, my friends, will be in OneDrop. It should actually be approved and in there now, but if not, check back. Again, it's under my name, under Facebook, and that has your workbook. That has everything in it that will help you to start to create systems where you feel a lot of clarity and confidence behind how you're showing up, behind what you're doing in Facebook, behind not hating Facebook, behind optimizing this platform, because you guys, it's free marketing. Like, people 10 years ago would have died for the free marketing access that we have, yet we want to sit and bitch and complain about it. So let's not. Let's be grateful for the fact that we have these platforms that we can utilize from our freaking phones from wherever in the world, and we can share something we love, and that's life-changing, right? So your energy behind your business, your mindset behind your business, your mindset behind Facebook, your mindset behind the value that you add is going to completely be mirrored back to you. So before you even jump into this, before you even jump into completely revamping this or just tweaking little things to make your systems flow better, start with your intention. Start with your intention of what you want to create, and take a few minutes to visualize what that feels like. What does it feel like to have an audience who are just so grateful that you show up, who are obsessed with natural health, who want to make this world a better place, who love the fact that these oils empower them in their own home, who have a massive audience and who've been searching and praying for something to be able to turn around and share with their audience and be able to earn an income and financially bless themselves and get financial independence from all the things that are going on, right? Like, we have such an incredible tool. Our foundation with Doterra is truly unshakable. I hope you guys understand that. Like, these oils are going nowhere. This company is going nowhere. This world needs healing right now more than ever. And not only do these oils offer the physical healing that we know that they can do, but the energy that these plants vibrate at, the energy that these essential oils vibrate at, can do nothing but help to ascend you into the next level of you that you are meant to be in this world. So I love you guys. I'm cheering for you guys. There is more than enough. This is not a pie of, there's only this amount of customers and whoever gets there first wins, and I haven't gotten there. Even if you're just getting started, guys, this is a spigot that we are turning on that is pouring over all of us, okay? There's more than enough for all of us to be successful, abundant, to help, to serve, and to show up in a way that is authentically you and is sustainable for your energy and who you are in this world, okay? So there's your inspiration. I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I will be back in the next week or two, okay? All right. Mwah. See you guys.